Hey guys, Jeff here. I just wanted to do a quick review for you. I'm going to be reviewing the 2011 remake of 1982 sci-fi horror film, The Thing, and basically just giving my thoughts on it and talking about almost trying to talk about the remake bad in general. Um, First, while it is a remake, it is also a prequel as a disclaimer. Um, so if you haven't seen the original, I say you could actually watch this one first, then watch the original. No, say I know some of you are probably saying the original was actually not the 82 one. I know. It's a movie from the 1950s called, I do believe, the thing that came from space or something like that. I know I'm getting that wrong, so I apologize to the watchers. But it's the thing from 1982 is technically still a remake. So, um, but I say before I do the prequel, I will talk about the original, so the 82. I really, really like the original, the 1982 one. I think it hit a lot of really great notes as far as like sci-fi and horror go. It does what you want horror to do, where it breeds this really cool feeling of paranoia. I know if cool and paranoia are words you don't hear really that well, but it does. I really like that very well. I think it does that almost perfectly. Um, it has it does have a few issues with like a little bit of pacing. It does get a little slow at times, but outside of that, oh yeah, a lot of people do find it to be too gory. It's definitely a show off for the makeup effects at the time. I think it, in my opinion, I know this is probably getting a lot of flack, but I do think it's John Carpenter's best movie, and I know from interviews from him that he considers it his best as well. I know a lot of people are screaming at me right now over the computer saying Halloween is better, but they are two separate styles of film. I want to say, but I really, really, really like the original thing. That being said, out of the prequel book there, I liked it. I know a lot of people are definitely giving it flack for there's some continued continuity errors, like the fact that this is a spoiler alert for anybody watching. The lead girl, she lives. That's a pretty big continuity error because the if that would have happened, the next movie would not have happened because she would go and tell everybody what happened. Um, and also, like you never really get the true lead up until into the next movie. I do believe it's after the credits. I didn't watch long enough because I watched the last night and it was quite late. But I do really like the fact that it stayed really true to the source material compared to a lot of the other remakes. And some would argue that like the Dawn of the Dead remake does not fare well against the original. And again, that's what I'll talk about my feelings on other remakes after I talk about them. I think the effects were actually really great, mainly because a lot of the films nowadays I'm seeing that use the CG effects like this one did, they get transitioned to 3D, so they do not fare well. The effects just are terrible. They come out as a kind of a sloppy mess of effects, where if you're not watching it in 3D, you're not getting the full effect, so you're getting kind of a cartoony looking effect. That happened with the Captain America remake. That movie lost a lot of the value from the effects because of the 3D transition, which was a movie that I don't think needed 3D. I do think the movie was good, but the effects are pretty terrible on that. But the thing, since it did not get a 3D release, it did not get that, which was actually really nice. I did really, really appreciate that. I say thank you to the director for by all means because of that. But outside of like the effect, like I said, the effects are really great. It's as gory as you would expect if you see the original. The thing is bloody, slimy, and transforms into some nasty things. So that was a cool thing to see in modern day cinema, seeing something that nasty still being made. Also, I do really like. I did really like the acting in some of it. Some of it did have some great acting. Well, not great, but good for a sci-fi horror film. Another one issue I did have with the acting and with some of the characters is none of them are really remember. You can't really remember any of them after you see the movie, unfortunately. Uh, there are a few that do work that are fun to watch, but this is another spoiler for anybody watching. The Norwegian characters are all side characters. are all characters for the Thing to kill. I think the special features kind of set up with us. Watching this film was like watching ghosts, because you know they're all going to die. But they kind of use that mentality a little bit too much when making the movie, I think, because it came off as that they made the movie with I'm trying to think how to put it, but where they didn't give the characters enough time to develop. They just really didn't come across as fully developed characters. And the characters that get a little bit of screen time are enjoyable to watch. And then some of them just don't want. Like, they'll come back. Like, there's a helicopter crash and 2 guys come back, and one of them gets to shoot one guy and he dies. That's it. Not a lot of development happens for that character, so he barely gets brought back to be killed on the screen. So it's kind of like, why? Another one of the issues I do have with this film in general is at the beginning at the beginning and throughout the film you see that Thing a lot, like in mid transition, like he's when it's a gross abomination of other people basically, and that's an issue for me because in the original there's that really great paranoia feeling where you don't know who the Thing is, and this one does it, just not as well as the original. Like you see, like the Thing merges with true people, so it becomes a head split thing that it's affectionately be called a head split creature. Basically, it has 2 faces, and the split isn't exactly right for the original film. I'm willing to let that go because it is a 1982 film, but since that split is not done completely right, and since we see it as the split face thing a lot, it gets annoying quick because it gets so much screen time as that thing, which is obnoxious at times because it seemed like almost like a film from the Splinter film. It seems a lot like that. If you've seen Splinter, you know what I'm talking about, where it just becomes the creature is a mishmash of body parts and not really a creature in itself. And Things are not supposed to see the creature that much. It's all about paranoia. But they keep it true enough that I didn't mind that. And the issue with seeing it so close, like at the beginning, I think you're led to believe that that's its true form and it looks like a bug, which is in general is really, really weird. But I'm willing to let you know. All in all, I really do enjoy this film. It wasn't nearly as bad as I was hoping, dreading it to be, and wasn't nearly as good as I was hoping it to be. That's what I meant to say. Definitely, I recommend checking it out. I say, if you haven't seen the original, check that one out immediately. Even if you have no interest in this one, check out the original. If you like horror films, sci-fi films, or practical effects at all, check it out. And I just wanted to quickly touch on the fact that I do. If you haven't seen it, check out my blog at Fine Taste Reviews at blogspot.com. I'll post the link down there. And if you like hearing me talk about movies and want to hear me rant about bad films, or rave about good films, please hit subscribe. I point to the button, but I don't know exactly where it's located. I think it's up there or over there. Anyway, please subscribe. I would like, if I get an audience, I will definitely be posting more often. Have a great day, guys. I will see you guys later.